Gentlemen, friends, dear fellow iceboat sailors, everything is now set up. First of all, I would like to invite the rule experts here in front. The jury members, please. As you can see, we have a table full of experience at your disposal this evening. So, who is the courage one? Who is the one who will state the first question? We have the demonstration material available for you. Please.
Can I come up? I
Yes.
maybe know the answer of the...
And be careful with the microphone. This little bug here needs to stay here. It's magnets.
Okay. I maybe know the answer of this myself, but I would like to hear the collected knowledge here, what they think. Yeah, okay. Shit, that was high. This is the leeward mark, and this is a boat coming on the starboard tack into the leeward mark, and this is a boat way down here on the port tack, and preparing to round this mark with a nice arc to come up to upwind. I need to have this before. Obviously, this boat has a right of way, and if this becomes closer, the only thing this boat can do is go with this boat because it's in a position. You have to tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I think, and this boat could force this boat all the way down to the starting line. Then the starting line becomes, what do you call that? Obstacle. Have I interpreted the rule correctly or not? That's my question.
Who is the brave one?
Situation, I think, is more like theoretical. For this right-of-way boat, it seems pretty, let's say, stupid maneuver. Then, if he tries to go that far.
Yeah, but even in this situation, because he wants to do this like this. So even in this position, this boat has to follow this.
Yeah, okay, but there is a limit with the starting line.
Excuse me?
There is a limit where you can go, starting line. Yeah. It is the same on a finishing line. You have to keep that much place for the boat not having the right of way to finish on the end of the line. Yeah, it is on both sides, on a leeward mark and on a scorer side.
But sometimes you hear...
Microphone.
sometimes you hear, like, sometimes you hear things like, I've started my rounding and I have the right to finish that rounding. But that's not the case here.
But that is the rule. Have you read the rule?
Microphone.
That's what the rule is there.
Microphone.
Okay. Please, explain.
Has everybody read the rule, what the rule says about rounding the mark?
Which rule?
Rule number
Number-
8. B, right-of-way rules, rule number 8.
8.
When approaching or rounding a mark, an outside yacht shall keep clear, and a faster moving yacht approaching another yacht from the rear shall stay clear of a yacht that has started her rounding manoeuvre. Sarah? This is a boat down here on, it's coming in on port. It's coming in on port. This boat here is coming in on starboard, obviously the other side of the thing, of the dolly mark. This boat is clear ahead of this one. His rounding manoeuvre is to sail downwind, exactly downwind, slowing down. That's not working very well, is it, this? And then making... Yeah, so this boat here is starting, he is clear ahead of this guy here. When he starts his remounting manoeuvre, when he comes down and then starts coming up here. So this guy has the right of way over this guy who tries to come in on starboard, according to Rule 8. But I'm not sure how many people have read it.
Of course. The problem was not when he's clear ahead. Then it's okay, but in this case, when you're already in a situation that you have to bear away with the boat, with the right of way, you are not clear then, yeah? You are not clear ahead, so you have to go with him.
Yeah, I think so too, but that's one.
Microphone.
We can hear it, I think, without this.
The tricky part is to decide whether you are clear ahead or not in this situation. And there's another part. Starboard port doesn't really matter because you can go straight downwind in high winds.
You're talking too fast.
You're listening too slow, Frederick. Okay, but so if we, I mean, to explain what it's saying. So there's a couple of things. Starboard port might not matter because if you go straight downwind, you're still inside boat if the other boat is not clear ahead, right? Yes. We agree. So the key thing is who is clear. Are you clear ahead or not? Sometimes it gets really gnarly because the inside boat can come in pretty fast and they will not make the turn as sharp as you do. The reason why we bring this up, in Sweden we've had a debate about this rule a lot. I don't think we're the only ones. This is a place where a lot of people push a little bit, but I think reading the rule as you did is everyone should read what it actually says, and not what they think it says. Next question.
But what is the interpretation then? When have you started the rounding? That is really often discussed.
Well, you started your rounding when you started your rounding manoeuvre. That means, I think, that means that because your rounding manoeuvre is, because the way to round the mark is not to come like this and do like this. Your rounding manoeuvre is you're coming here, you come down to slow down, so then you can make a turn like this. So when you start the rounding manoeuvre is when, in my opinion, is when you made the first turn down.
Can I come up?
Come on.
Yeah. Okay. We do like this instead. I borrow this. Hello, Fredrik, my name. This boat coming here for port. This is coming on starboard. This guy misjudged when it's time to jibe. He's coming. This guy here say he has started his rounding, but this guy meets yachts how far he's going. He's going out all the way here. He's on starboard. The rule is clear. I think we are trying to make it complicated here. This is a port boat, this is a starboard boat. If we start giving discounts to port boats, we're going to have crashes. That is my opinion. Thank you.
I have a question. Maybe my point is certain, but I think it's relevant to the point. For you to be sure.
Just
Yeah, so I'd rather speak without the microphone. So I have not found in the rules any precedence rules for the individual rules. That means that in case two rules are being broken at the same time, either by the same boat or by two separate boats, there's no place in the rules that says that one rule has precedence over the other rule. Is this the case? Fredrik just said that the starboard port rule would have precedence over the other rules.
No,
But
I said just the boat is on starboard. Sorry. I said it's just on starboard.
So I haven't found a rule that says that there would be precedence of one rule over the other rule. How do we solve this? Because in many cases we end up in a situation where we have two rules being broken concurrently, either by the same boat or by two separate boats.
What
was the question? The question is, do we have precedence of rules in the rules?
Well, privately, why do we have rules in ice sailing?
No, there is nowhere in the rules. But if you think in water sailing, do you have any place where it says which rules has precedence over another?
Yes.
Where?
Can I come up again and put on some boats?
I think that our competition level has grown much more than our rules, and this is causing a lot of problems for us. I think in the future, and as you see right now, you have to remember one thing: all these rules are not for tactical use; they are just for saving lives and equipment, and yeah, this is what I'm explaining. Yeah. Okay, everybody can have it. The purpose of this following rule is to prevent collisions. Any infraction of these rules is cause for disqualification. Yeah. It basically says that the common sense is part of mostly our decision or what we are deciding in some conflicts.
Regarding this situation, I don't need the mic. I think
I can hold it for you.
it's better because it's just confusing. Usually the lifelike situation is that the people are running really away, and there are some guys that came on the other tack and coming really close. And that's the real life situation, that this guy is coming here, this is here. You don't know if it's in cover or how they actually overlap each other or not. But in this situation, who has the right of way? This guy is going to be like going down a lot because it's very close to the mark, and this guy wants to go up. And I think this is the crucial point because it's more lifelike situation like the ones before. So could you please explain me that what would be the decision in a collision situation like this? Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, colleagues, in my opinion, It's still the rule what David told before. If he starts the rounding here and one boat comes in right off the way anyhow and clashes in here somewhere and there are not only one boat, there are some boats, yeah, and anyone he will hit. So this is dangerous. This is really dangerous to do this in that way. And in my opinion, if there is a crash and I'm in the jury, I put them out. Okay?
Yes.
Because it's dangerous.
Yes.
And we have to prevent crashes, and this guy don't prevent crashes. And then you have to put out. Okay? Thanks.
Well said.
For some years ago, we all voted, maybe mostly of us, voted for round course instead of 8. So this is basically the solution, just to go back to the 8.
Yeah.
Johnny.
Put on some boats, Johnny.
Say?
Put on some more boats on this question.
More boats? No, I want to ask my question first. Is that okay?
We start with the one that we don't have a starboard boat.
No, my question is regarding to the previous one where you said that you would disqualify the starboard boat categorically. So are you seriously saying that if this boat clears the dolly mark and he's coming in with speed, we don't think about the port boat here yet. Does this boat not have a right to, if he's coming fast and these boats have coming slower, does this boat not have the right to sort of drag out the turn?
Not for me.
I would argue. Yeah. I hear you. I'm just a little bit troubled by this, that it's categorical.
Because we have the rule number 8. And it starts, all the other boats, or this boat starts already the rounding. Yeah? I'm sorry.
Yes, I agree. It has started his rounding, and I would agree with David's interpretation that the rounding maneuver, some people think it starts here. The maneuver starts when you start going down. So I would totally agree with you that if this boat has started to go down there, then this is acting dangerously. But there is a point where this one is still heading up and hasn't started his maneuver and he's coming in on starboard. Would you agree that then it's not that categorical? Then this is, yeah.
Yeah, of course. The situation will be out there somewhere. Yeah. And there is enough room for reaction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here you have to go down and give this boat right off the way. Yeah, of course, but not here. But not here if he started already to go up to the wind. And this comes in here and crashes.
Thank you. Then we agree.
Because the radius is here like this,
yeah.
And this radius is like this.
Yeah.
So it will not work. Yeah. Here comes the crash.
We agree.
Yeah.
We agree. I was just troubled by this categorically always giving it to
If
that.
it's out, if there is a
Yeah.
lot of place here and it's far away from here, then of course this is in the right.
Thank you.
This boat have to give space, but not if starting rounding here, then this boat cannot come in.
Yeah.
The main thing is we have to sail the race course. And the race course, it's not going like here in this direction. This is the Lübert mark, so the race course is going around the mark. And so if a boat comes in that direction and another boat tries to round the Lübert mark, then this boat is not able to sail the race course anymore. It goes like this, and this is not the race course. The race course after the Lübert mark goes up to the wind. Yeah? And for my opinion, we have to.
There is no proper course in ice sailing. There is no Rule 17. There is no obligation to sail the course, but there is rule number 5, which I think we forgot a little bit here. It says that a right-of-way yacht should not alter her course as to mislead or prevent a non-right-of-way yacht from keeping clear. So there is a lot of obligation from that boat that has the right-of-way. Even if you agree that the inside boat here has the right-of-way, they have responsibility to allow for that leeward boat to make a good rounding. Meaning, you can't force them to jibe, in my opinion. Right? Like the example Niklas you put was a little bit extreme. It doesn't ever happen like that. So you can't force them to jibe. The other question is, for me, the key thing is, maybe it's a good point showing that this rule isn't clear, that we don't all really agree. For me, the key thing is, what is starting your rounding maneuver? What is the definition of starting your rounding maneuver? Some of the boats might have jibed late, very, very far away. They are under the ley line. So if the definition is changing your course, then the rounding maneuver started way back in the corner. Is that reasonable? That means that the starboard advantage is gone for half of the downwind leg. That doesn't make sense to me.
Also another rule 2 can be applied here, because on the wind and off the wind. So it's already turned here. It's
correct.
Go on wind and has the priority, and this will go
Yeah, but
off
that,
wind.
I agree, but that is after. Obviously in that case, you already. This is after the rounding maneuver has started.
Yeah, but
right?
if it's turned here, it's already on the wind, and it cannot.
Max,
No, we have 3 rules at the same time.
no. Max, can I come up and make some?
And then Gustav had a question, I think.
Yeah, but I don't need a microphone. Okay, we start again. We need some more votes because it's getting to, you're talking only, and you're talking, we can't do that, we can't. Well, let's follow the rules. We have a boat coming here. We have some boats that are, listen, sorry. We have,
I'll hold this for you.
yeah,
So you
we
can-
have some boats here, and we have one on starboard. We have 3 boats on port. That we can see that. That's okay. That one has the right of way in the road. No problem. Then we continue a little bit. These guys are sailing down here. They maybe start the rounding there. I have a feeling that the guys who write this rule, I've done this for many, many years now, and the guys who made this rule were thinking very smart when they write this rule. It's about how our visibility is. When we are here, we can see a little bit like that, but when we're coming down here, our sight field is going together because we are so focused on the mark, so we can't see people coming from behind. So it's about a little bit how you see on the ice and what you don't have ice in your neck, so you can't see another one coming. So if we start without this boat, take it away. Then it's this one. This one is green. We for sure are there. This one can't do like this. He can't. The rule is saying that you should keep clear of this one, has started this rounding. We're there? Fine. This one can't do this. This can't do this. They are behind this green. So this one is green. And now I don't have 2 greens, but we put this as orange.
The other side is green.
Is it?
Take the blue one.
No, but we take this one here, orange. Now we put in this one coming in here. Now it's new situation. This sailor wants to find a place here somewhere. Okay, he's just continue. He has the right way. He's green.
It's hard for us.
He's green.
He's green. He's still green because he's going downwind. He's going for starboard. He's green. The wind is from here.
Yeah, you can change the boat.
He's green. This guy was out here now. He pushed this. It's a little bit hard to move them, but he's pushed it. He's still green. Now it's coming to something. When he starts his jibe, when he's straight down, he's still starboard. But when he starts his jibe, you should keep clear of other boats. So you start but your new sail will be filled directly. So your jibe will be quite quick. You will have on the port. You're on port now. Now he's on port. What happened? He is green to that one because he can sail down on that one. But he's red. He's red to that one. So he's both green. He green over that one. It's many rules to think at the same time. It's not one. And there, this guy. Oh, sorry.
We lost. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but okay. I'll go back. Hey, listen. He's on starboard. He's coming.
Now.
He's on starboard now. He's coming down here, coming in here. He's on starboard still, but when he's jibing, something happened. He's red. On the boats in front of him, he's a red boat. The one, if we take that one away, now he's hunting the other one. He can't go in here because he's a boat from behind, roll H. Now, you understand? It's changing. His obligations are changing when he's jibing. Boom. Then he's getting a behind boat. Then they change like that. And now this guy can do his maneuver rounding. So, and if we had this picture earlier that the boat should go straight like this, and nobody's doing that. It's stupid. You don't earn. No, but not so many. Sometimes you come here and all these boats is not giving place for the starboard boat to come in here. But if you push,
Sorry, Fredrik. I think we need to let some other people ask questions.
Oh, sorry, but
I think Gustav, come.
But what I'm saying is, it's important to know when the rules are changing. It's not the rule 8 is not for this one. He's on starboard, but it's changing when he's coming to port. Good. So you understand how I'm thinking?
Okay, Goran.
I have a question about your definition of rounding the mark. As you explained it, it seems immediately going downwind and turning to port side now counts as rounding the mark. So there should be an exact definition of rounding the downward mark.
Yes, very good.
But
the only thing we have in the rule is that the outside yacht should be clear.
Oh, the rounding mark beginning is
at the rounding, at the top mark.
That's for sure.
Yeah, well said, Peter.
It was a point from regarding after the rounding. Let's see. If this boat keeps going that way.
Excuse me. I think we didn't finish this part. Don't start a new question. I would like to hear the jury's opinion about how the mark rounding starts, because that wasn't clear that you go down with. And there was another question. If you make the rounding like 200 meters before, what's going to happen then? So we gotta finish this first, because we are not going anywhere with other thing.
No, I went back to the.
But we start with what we started with. We just finish it.
I was going back to the point that Yacht was talking about. When you pass, if someone goes like this, and this was a point from a ruling in the worlds, where a boat went this way, turned inside of this boat,
and kept going that way. And this boat made a protest against this boat, and the ruling was thrown out. Yeah. Yeah. But he kept going this way.
But was it already on the wind? I mean, upwind? How they were going? Because it's not clear now if the wind is coming from diagonal from
They both were going downwind.
Or they were going down.
Both going down, turning the mark, and this boat kept going this way.
When did they start going up? Did they start walking or
They kept going sideways. Yeah.
I can say something to that situation. I was jury member on that one. And it was a very difficult situation. Basically, it was after Mark rounding when it came to a collision. So we decided I was on the upwind race course. And then it's a different fact there. So it was an upwind situation.
Yeah, and Jost just said that we don't have a ruling for you can't go straight.
So the guy, the windward boat was...
Yeah, but the ruling that Bernard was part of says that you don't have to.
Well, it came to a collision since the leeward boat was faster and went out of control, and the windward boat kept going low. And that was the problem. After the rounding, the mark was way back there.
Yeah, but then there's no proper course after the rounding.
You're sailing upwind. After the rounding,
The windward boat had a protest against him. I mean,
but the lower boat was coming from behind with more speed.
Yeah, but that's the story. If you're next to each other.
Yeah, you're never next to each other. One boat is faster than the other guy. So
Well, I think there's one very important thing. We do not sail half wind on the race course. We going down and we going up. And this situation is a half wind situation, and there we have no rules for that. For this.
Yeah, we have rules. We have rules.
Does anybody know when started downwind or upwind? What limits this?
The mark.
No, that's you're wrong. You are on a course according to the wind. It doesn't matter on what leg you are. You can. This is half wind. Yeah? After that, you are either upwind or downwind. Well, 90 degrees, 91, 89. Yeah. Who decides that? That's the common sense, I think. Don't want to have, for every case in the world, a ruling. You can't do that, simply.
I mean, this shouldn't be a lifelike situation, because after the downwind mark, everybody wants to go up. So I think after the downwind mark, the upwind mark rule should be applied, that the windward boat has to keep clear, and the closer to the wind going boat has to have the right of way. After the downwind mark, this rule should be applied. That's my opinion.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's never a boat side to side. There's always a boat lower. Quite often.
It doesn't
We
matter.
have a faster boat coming from behind. I mean, sure, that case was also that there was a faster boat coming from behind. There was a slower boat putting himself.
Was it clearly behind and overlap?
At some point, he was clearly behind.
We don't have overlap in this room.
But whatever, the boat who was more, clearly forward, then should have been going up
He can
already.
do whatever. He can, the faster guy coming from behind
Has to keep clear.
has to keep clear.
Yeah, that's
it.
But this situation wasn't like that.
Please come.
It's like this.
Daniel.
USA 5352, question for the jury members. In the circumstance that we are talking about, when you have a yacht that is clear ahead, making a strategic rounding, entering wide, exiting close, and someone is coming to jam it in. So that's what we're talking about in this circumstance. Would contact be necessary for you to rule in favor of the boat that is making a strategic rounding if there was a protest?
Finally, a clear question. Maybe we should say, for me, no. You said the word was clear ahead. That would decide it for me if a protest was filed. What would you say?
Yeah, when a yacht approaching the other yacht from the rear shall stay clear of a yacht that has started a rounding manoeuvre. And what I wanted to say earlier, maybe I could explain it, but if you're watching the really class guys like Carol and Rasmus Marlin, if you're not in the A fleet and you're watching them coming to do the rounding, they're starting their rounding manoeuvre very clearly. You know, you watch Carol or you watch Rasmus, they're coming down here, and at this point here, where they turn down, I would say that's starting their rounding manoeuvre. So at this point, because they've started their rounding manoeuvre, it's almost that the top guys have defined what is the starting rounding manoeuvre. I mean, if we don't come from ice sailing, we don't really know, but you know, you learn a bit as you come, and you see that that's the only way to go around the mark. So if you're starting your rounding manoeuvre here, well, you watch Carol, you watch Rasmus come down here, or Mike, Mikel, or anybody, they come down almost 90 degrees. If you're watching from down here, you're seeing it, then they come round. And at this point, they've decided that they are ahead of a guy from behind. So this guy that was coming in on starboard, he has to stay clear of them, in my opinion. I think people agree, maybe.
For the same question, also an answer.
So many opinions, so little.
Great question in a way, and now for getting in a way the starboard situation. So I think quite typical situation what everybody really has experienced is that you are coming here and making your nice rounding, and then there is another guy who is coming straight, more or less straight, pointing to the mark. Yes. Has somebody experienced this situation?
Yes.
All the time, by the way.
But it's
Also
much
yes.
better today.
Sorry?
It's much better today. It was worse many years ago.
Oh, yes,
A lot
sure.
of people did
But
that.
this is the question what was pointed by the US. So this guy, I think, makes everything correctly. And this guy does not. Even though in certain senses by rule ways he would have in a way right to have the inside line. But I think I would be able to rule this out if there is a protest without any collision, because this has no other than option to veer away and give rule to avoid the collision. Answer to your question.
Thank you.
I don't
So
think
you
quite
can
answered my
disqualify
question,
this
which
guy.
I
Yes.
posed here earlier, and I think David's example was really good because it shows one case of these. So we have here somebody who has started the rounding maneuver by turning almost according to, and he is on this tack, and we have one coming from here. So he has started the rounding maneuver, and he's coming. We have two rules colliding here. Which rule
But
do we
which
follow?
boat is clear ahead? So rule 8 doesn't apply. It's port starboard.
So then this rule has lower priority that he has started.
No, it doesn't apply because no one is clear ahead. Remember what the rule says. It says
Clear
it's
ahead.
clear ahead. So you need to have the port boat clear ahead for rule 8 to apply. Other one.
This one.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. This is the case. Now this boat is clear ahead. That's the distinction.
I'm not sure I understand.
It's like if you know water sailing, if you go into the zone without an overlap, it's the same thing.
Can I add something to this situation? Because we're thinking in this situation about two yachts. Most of the time, the situation is completely different. I'm going to move this mark so there is bit more space. So visually, it looks like you have a yacht coming on the starboard tack, but you have not just one, but you have group of boats coming here, and it's crowded. Yeah. So, if we're gonna try to implement a rule of starboard and port tack, what's gonna happen? Okay, this guy gonna try to use his right of way. So what we expecting from this sailor to do when there are other boats behind him? Obviously, this is the start line. How in this situation we applying general rule of sailing safely? So if we're gonna give this boat a right which passed the dolly mark, approaching in a wrong angle to take the bottom mark, in a situation when there is only one boat, you could think, okay, he has all this space to give the right, so this guy can do his maneuver. But in a real life, if you're gonna give this boat a right which passed already the dolly mark, I know there is no written rule about it, but you need to, okay, but from practical point of view, this guy, like you, I think one of you mentioned that when you're approaching the bottom mark, your visibility is quite limited. So you have split second to decide, am I gonna pass in front of this yacht? If not, where are you gonna go? What's going on with this boat here? How much danger you creating? So I think when Gary, you read the rule, once these boats going downwind and they starting their maneuver, that's where they're gaining in that zone right against any boat coming here. And that's how we're gonna keep sailing safely.
No, the safety
Yeah,
comes,
I don't know if you agree.
the safety comes from dolly mark, which should not be 50 meters or 100 meters, it should be 300 meters.
In order to force all the boats line up correctly. So the question is, how far the dolly mark should be at the other mark.
That's
in
why we
order
have
to
dolly
force
mark to
all
take that
boats
space.
to be in line. Or should it be here? Or should it be here? So this is the question. And this is the responsibility of the race committee to make it correctly.
No, because if you go down.
They want to answer that.
Guys, there is also rule number 5, what you are missing. It has been a case here in many races when people coming in from on a starboard, then what they do normally, here are coming other boats, yeah? And here's the leeward mark, this is a dolly mark. What they're trying to do, they dive in after the dolly mark on a starboard. This is rule number 5. You actually, if you want to do something, you can continue on your normal course, not diving in and forcing them to keep clear. Yeah? This is what we think is the reason why the situations are here so dangerous. You have no right to come here in this way. If you would keep your normal sailing course and make the jibe here and go, then it would happen. Don't dive in. The same situation we have on a windward mark. We talk about it later, but
Sorry. You have to love this class. There's more opinions than questions. Everyone has an opinion. Very few questions.
I do not disagree with you.
not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying. You jibe at the top wind mark, you jibe in and you come in. Okay, so you go quite close to the dolly mark, and you're going fast. Forget all the other boats. What do you want to do? You want to come in here, you want to slow down, you want to make room to make a nice rounding. Right?
Okay.
Now you introduce the other boats. Again, you can't categorically, thank you, say that this boat is doing wrong here because he's slowing down.
He has
This
started
is
his
a normal
rounding.
maneuver.
I'm not saying categorically, but
Thank you.
it's obvious that when you see the situations, then you see when people are really pushing to the limit.
Yeah.
And when it's okay, it happens this way. I overstood somewhere and I'm coming in very unfavorable.
That I agree with.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Johnny, when do you think the starboard boat has started the rounding? Are they starting it on starboard, or are they starting it when they have jibed to port?
If we're talking about the starboard boat here now.
Yeah?
Well-
Take every boat away and say...
That is kind of my point here. He has also started his rounding when he bears away to slow down.
Exactly.
Right?
No. They have to turn first. I mean, jibe first.
Where is he standing in the road?
David, please read the rule. Starts his rounding maneuver.
Unless you switch port, you cannot start your rounding maneuver because you were on a different port. You have to jibe first, and then you
Read the rule.
But there is, remember, rule number 5. If you change your course when you're right-of-way boat, meaning jibing here is changing your course a right-of-way boat. Even both rules apply at the same time, both rule 8 and rule 5. So if you jibe late, and that starts your running maneuver, fine. You have rule 8 on your side, but rule 5 says your jibe cannot... Number 5, a right-of-way boat shall not alter a course as to mislead or prevent a non-right-of-way yacht from keeping clear. When you're on starboard there, just before the jibe, you need to allow the others to react to you when you're on starboard. So it might happen that both things happen at the same time. You jibe, meaning you're starting a round maneuver, but you're also changing your course, meaning you're losing your right-of-way from starboard.
Yes.
Right? At exactly the same moment.
No. You jibe first, and then you have to keep clear for everyone. Then you start rounding. Peter is correct. It's not at the same time. You sail on starboard, you jibe, you sail on port, start your rounding. It's never one rule, many rules at the same time. It's always one rule, next rule, next rule, next rule. And when you jibe, you have to be clear for everyone.
Actually, it doesn't say start your rounding, it says start your rounding maneuver.
Yeah, after you have jibe, because otherwise
Well,
you're
I
away
mean, did we not agree just a while ago what David was saying? That the boat coming on port starts his rounding maneuver when he starts bearing away.
Yeah.
Why is it, in your opinion, different to the starboard boat? Why is he not starting his rounding maneuver when he bears away to slow down?
Because first he needs to be like the other case, on port.
It says rounding maneuver.
Yeah, after you're on port.
I'm asking questions, I'm not
Yeah,
making
me too.
statements.
Me too. It's tricky for the jury.
Well, I mean, we can all agree safe sailing is number one here.
Yes.
We can all agree don't use the rules for tactical maneuvers.
Yes.
And I think the rules are kind of blurry in some situations in order for you not to start using them to your advantage.
Correct.
Sail fast round the course, that's the name of our game. So we might in this discussion be overcomplicating a couple of things and forgetting that you need to sail the course fast, right?
And safe.
Continue this same point, exactly what was said in a way for the safety and behaving correctly. So this is the downwind mark and the dolly mark, which we correctly have here, maybe 200 meters. Port jack, starboard. So he is coming here, sailing with the full speed, more or less. And here is the port guy coming and approaching the mark. Everybody has experienced this one. So I think that this, then it's a normal port starboard situation. And this guy comes, and even though there are more boats in the way, they must see that he's coming. So what they do? They start to veer away. And when he sees, okay, now there is, and I think that these have to change their course and veer away for this boat, give also room for this one, because otherwise they will end up in the situation where he has to dive directly to the mark. Yeah. So they must give also room to this one in order to make that. And then he tacks the sides, and then they can go.
That's exactly my point. Why is not he allowed to bear away and slow down? Exactly. Good record.
Okay. I don't know if it's crazy, but I have a suggestion that you have the dolly mark, place the dolly mark further away and have a third mark here. I don't know, but it's always a discussion about if you're starting your rounding, you can take away that discussion. You know, you have a clear starboard port situation on this side. Here you have a clear situation that the inner boat has the right of way.
You just, sorry. You just created, You just created a second leeward mark without a dolly mark.
Maybe.
Yeah. You exactly created a second leeward mark without a dolly mark. So it's a very bad idea.
Idea was the best idea, Niklas.
Ja, bra
That was a
försök.
good one.
Ja, bra
That's a
försök.
good one.
Det är pinsamt oturligt.
Nej men fan, vi kan lägga fyrkant. Det var ju skitbra.
Interpretation, that's even better. You know,
Yeah, but we cannot.
That's what I was saying in the very beginning.
So, how it died? So to a point. Yep, guys. If you remember just to maybe close this, everyone is so interested in mark roundings.
We can end it.
I think maybe there are other rules, but we sort of wanted. There is an interpretation to the purpose of these rules. Has anyone read that? The purpose that I think, did you read that? The purpose of the following rules is to prevent collisions. Any infraction of these rules is cause for disqualification. That answers some question here if it would take contact. No, it doesn't say that it. Right, that's the point number one. But the interpretation is even more important. I just lost it on my phone. But it actually says that the rules are not meant to be used for tactical advantage as a prime concern.
Yeah.
It doesn't say you can't use them for tactical advantage, but as a prime concern. They are to be used to avoid collisions, first of all. So you can use them. It's not true. Some people say that you can't use them tactically. That's not true either. But if there is someone asked about the precedents. First, avoid collisions, then you can say tactically. And in this case, there are roundings, I think, as Vaiko said, where you're creating a dangerous situation. And some nuances, in some other situations, you're not. It's not easy.
So, just question for the jury. If you come, this is starboard boat, and you create...
Stand up so everyone hears.
Yeah, just a question for the jury, just a follow-up question. If you then come on starboard and you create a dangerous situation, is that then case for disqualification, or do you want to encourage starboard boats to actually create dangerous situations? It's a yes or no. disqualify or encourage dangerous situations.
It's a racing. We're racing out there, so it's the main key about the bottom mark is try to get in line. If we're making a double line or 3 lines trying to hit the mark, it's gonna get, make problems.
I have a point for Stefan. If you're at the starboard boat, what you are saying is that don't create that situation. What is the alternative? To head up and go fast? Is that, in your opinion, less dangerous?
It's a very good question. I think basically you should not be close to the dollar mark. You should not even come like that. You should
maybe
prevent
the dollar
it.
mark is wrong. Wrong position.
That's a
Is
good
that my
thing.
fault or your fault?
I don't have the answer. It's a good question.
That's why the rules are a little bit blurry.
Yeah.
I have been in similar situations in my life when I was sailing. And when you're looking downwind, you go to the left and then you come to the mark and you overstood a bit.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking, how the fuck am I going to make this turn there?
Yeah.
And the only thing what I've done is that at the end, you're just going higher. You're just going higher to make more room for the radius.
And perhaps even go behind some boats coming in. That's right. That's the right thing to do. Sometimes you even need to ease your sheet.
I have a question. When does this the maneuver from tapping the bits, from rounding the mark, where does it start? Is there a rule?
No, there is
no.
no.
So that's also very difficult then, because you have the right when starting.
You do understand that it really depends on ice condition, wind condition, everything. It varies a lot.
You're using all the time the words. You have the right when you start the round. So if I start in the middle of the field, I say I started the rounding. So I had right of way. Where is the part? Is there a dollar mark?
It's in common sense. It's in common sense. Well, why do you think that we can find a rule for you if you can't read it?
If there is a rule, because you're saying that when you're doing that you have rights. So you're creating your own rights by making a maneuver.
Can I just read out the rule that Max we found it again? It's in the idnera.org site, and it refers you to the first rule, which says that the purpose of the following rules is to prevent collisions. And there's an add to that, which you then read. The sailing rules and race management rules are designed to provide a safe and fair race. The rules should not be used with tactical advantage or prime concern, but rather should be used to avoid collisions. Sailors should realise that ice boat racing rules differ from sailing boat racing rules in a number of fundamental rules, most prominent of which are starboard tack does not always have right of way, windward yacht has right of way off the wind, there is no 3-length rule on an ice boat course mark, at an ice boat course mark. I mean, it'd be good for people to look it all up themselves and read it and understand it to be clear. Thanks, Max.
Can we go up to the upper mark?
It seems like you are coming to the upper mark a little bit tight, with bad speed. Okay, you are in front of this, you are rounding here. These guys are much faster.
Where is the wind?
Upper mark, so wind is here.
Third marked away from there.
Huh?
Yeah.
No spreader.
Yeah, no. So, I understood yesterday I was talking with Vaiko, I have the right to pick up speed here. But I have boat that comes from behind a lot faster. At what point should I start to bear away for the guys pressing me down? When is the point that I should start to give them space? Because they are still coming faster behind and coming in front.
Overtaking. And I interpretation number 5.
Yeah, but at some point when I'm picking up speed, then the rule change.
But then, I've spoken too much already. I can do it.
You remember now.
This is the wind, yeah? You are a little bit too tight, and there are guys coming from up more overlaid or overstood the lay line. Okay, you going here, and you have to pick up a speed bit. Nobody forces you to bear away. You can continue here.
Of course, you bear away slowly to pick up
Yeah,
speed. Yes?
if you want, you can continue here. This is their obligation to either dive here or go around you and keep clear. This situation continues until you are half-wind. You still have the right to go there. After that, you are a leeward boat.
Yes, but if they are faster coming behind.
They still have to keep clear.
Okay,
Coming from behind.
Yeah.
And
So this is very common when you sort of a cut to nose from the people.
Yeah.
And this is not right.
at what point does he have the right here to start to press me down?
Well, he has not such right. It says, no, he has not. He is faster boat moving around. It only applies when they are similar speed. Then the upwind boat has a right of way. It's almost never touch sink. In an upwind mark, there is always speed difference quite big. So don't think very much. You have a big window. You can see when you can bear away.
Can I have a comment on that one? During these years, is so many, as in Rule 5, it's saying that you faster from behind should keep a distance also to the other boat when you're passing. Faster boat from behind should not stick in the runner there. They should have some distance here, because if this guy is getting a little bit of a slide or something, you should have some maneuvers. So many people nowadays, especially you beginners, new guys, are sailing so close here. So bloody close. It's really dangerous. And I remember from last year, a guy, I was sailing like this, and it was somebody, and then I had need to pick up some speed, so I went up, and the guy behind me had a dull runner, so he got to spin, because he couldn't come with me up. He had to spin, and coming after to me and said, "Oh, you make me spin." He was behind me. I couldn't see him. I don't have eyes here in the neck. You understand? So, please follow this rule 5. Coming from behind, keep a good distance. When you're up here and you're coming to, this person here is also looking for a place to jibe. So his eyes is down. He's not looking up if there's a boat there. He's looking to find a place to jibe. So he can't see the boat up there. Think about where people have their head. Can he see me? Can he see me? And then maybe if you're here in the same speed and you want to jibe yourself and get a puff, you will take the wind. But don't count on that person coming down. It's off the sheet a little bit and pass him, and then you're coming in so he can see you. Then it's changing. Then you have it possibility to come down. You can't just like this, oh, I want to push him. It's dangerous sailing when we go like this. If we try to use the rules and try to make a collision or try to make very close call, it's dangerous. That is my point. And also another question. Here is Mark, here is the dolly on Europeans, here is the dolly on World Championship. Can you see the difference? We sailed the World Championship. The American has performed the quality and having the dolly on about 150 meters. Not there, not there. Just straight, long distance. Then we don't get the problems here. We're coming in, they're coming here. We have a clear starboard port. They haven't started a rounding maneuver.
Yes, that's very important.
But why the hell, fucking hell, is we always in Europe have a organizer putting them on 70 meters instead of 140?
Would a clarification in the rules maybe help?
No. It's saying 100 meters.
No. Not in the distance, but generally. I thought that Freddie's proposal of keeping a safe distance when you are overtaking, that could be clarified.
It is.
If you have faster boat, you have to make sure that the distance between the boat you are overtaking is, for example.
Do you want to put the sensors on?
Do I want
Sensors on the boat.
How do you measure it?
How do you measure it?
Yeah, you can't measure
Everybody has their own space feeling, yeah?
Yeah, but if you say a boat length is a safe distance, for example, then everybody knows that it's not half a meter.
It's the same in the summer sailing, we have 3 boat lengths to the mark, but everybody has it differently, so it's, in ice sailing it's never going to work, so it's only common sense and be afraid.
You're right, Mikkel, like, in keelboat sailing, the best question a protest jury can ask, if someone has misjudged the boat, is how many seconds did it take you to approach the mark? And you hear all kinds of stuff. Some people say, ooh, 2 minutes. Like, even like, or is it 5 seconds? No, I don't think it was 5 seconds, because it was 5 seconds, you were. In our sport, it differs. It can take a very long time from the dolly, and it can take a really quick time. There's no way to define that in a quantifiable sense.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to clarify one thing that Fredrik said regarding the dolly mark. In Sweden, when we are arranging regattas, no matter how long the course is, the minimum distance for the dolly mark is always 100 meters, no matter how long the course is. Sometimes we put up like 150 meters.
When it's blowing.
When it's blowing, exactly. That solves some of the problem we have discussed this evening.
Yeah.
So what we also do, I can show it quickly. Instead of having a straight line from the middle of the starting line through the dollar mark and up to the upwind mark, we put the dolly mark sideways as well, just to force them out. Yeah, that's the way we do. So far, our experience is pretty good in that sense. But we're open. If you no, sorry, you misunderstood me. This is the lever mark. This is the dollar mark.
Yeah.
What we do is put the dollar mark sideways, just to force the boats out.
It makes sense. It will reduce dramatically the diving end.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is forcing you to jive.
Yes.
Not to just dive in.
Yeah. And our experience is that when we do that, we have much less situations. Much less. Together.
He implemented that rule to offset the dolly mark. That's my dad said. That was his kind of rule of thumb, to offset the dolly mark to create a safer situation.
Yeah.
We can use that experience put in practice.
Thomas, did you do the same thing on the upwind mark?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, but
Thomas,
for my opinion,
and this is all okay. I don't disagree with putting it a little bit aside, but there is a limit.
Of course.
because sometimes the wind changes,
It does.
and sometimes the wind goes down, and sometimes you come on a hot angle to the mark, only to see the dolly mark over there. That is far, way too much offset.
Yeah, but we can't guarantee that the wind is not turning
That's why
either
there's
to
a
the
limit
right
to
or
how
to
much
the left.
it makes.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you, but just keep. All I'm saying is keep in mind that not offsetting it too much.
No, correct.
Thank you.
And as Michael said all evening, we try to use common sense. And we also, for us, it's very important, as it is for all of you guys here, that we avoid collisions. We are here to sail and have a good time, and therefore we always have to remember the basic rule. The basic rule is to avoid situation and collisions.
Thomas, may I add one thing to it? I'm sorry, just for fun.
I'm very popular someone.
Sorry, but offsetting the dolly mark, I don't think it's a good idea.
Okay.
The best would be to have safe distance here, because if boats are coming and wants to dive, they have to go downwind. If there is enough space, they're gonna dramatically lose speed, and they will be dead slow. So I think offsetting the marks makes confusion. Confusion this way that they expect it to be here, and there were cases before that someone thought that it was some mark for some hole on the ice or something, so didn't realize this was a dolly mark, and they went through. So I think in the right situation should be windward, not offset, because it just makes confusion, but the distance is what matters. Because you won't dive in if you're gonna get that slow. If it's too close, then you're gonna dive in. And I think that's the case with that.
You have a complete different situation at the Windward Park. You know, may I add? Pick up a little bit. So this is the wind direction.
Speak louder.
We have a big difference at the Windward Park. The boats coming to the mark, and you know, especially in the A fleet, if you are starting on the left side, very outside, you are not able to, if you are tacking and go to the mark in the first lap, you reach the windward mark at the dolly mark already. And all boats coming very close with a high speed to the mark. And if you move the dolly mark to this, then all safety is gone. So you have to do the dolly mark exactly on the straight, on the line of the wind direction. So when you come to the dolly mark, you can dive in. These are the overtaking boats. So it's a different situation than at the at the leeward mark. So you are able to dive in and can round the mark. And I've had a situation in America. Some guy goes, there was no dolly mark, and the guy tried to go through this way, and I had a collision with him. It was really dangerous.
Not this
Luckily,
year.
nothing happened. And so to avoid this, we need this dolly mark, and diving in is, for my opinion, is very, very safety, and it's clear.
No.
The same thing applies if you do it here. You're encouraging people to turn early. So that's why it's also not necessarily.
So the same thing applies when at the leeward mark. If you put it here, you're encouraging people to turn early in order to get advantage. And Thank you.
So, Max, can I borrow it one more?
No.
Too many. No, wait. No, I would take some thinking about seconds here. How we're moving on the ice boat. When we move the dolly mark from 70 meter to 150 meter, we give the guy coming on red 1 to 1.5 seconds more to think. If we have it here, close like 70 meter, you have half a second to think. But if you move it here, we're moving about, let's say, 36 meter per second. And 70 meter per second we're moving. So 70 meter, we give him, and also, when we have been trying this, we tried this after Lipno in Sweden with 150 meter. And you never, if it's 150 meter, you're never coming to a point when they can try to push. You give so much time for everybody to think. The same at the bottom mark when we're coming in and jibing here. You give it the time to find a place, don't make these dangerous situations when it's long between 150 meter between the marks, always.
Next topic.
I don't know how many times we have to say.
Thanks. I want to go back to the situation when the rule changed from 5 to 4. So, yeah, 2 boats. One is coming behind. Of course, you should have enough place in order not to disturb this. But when this moment comes, when he will have the right to push, to push this boat down. The rules is saying, interpretation number 5, when the uppermost part of the boat reach the upper aft.
Not only. It's not only when we're lowered, it also says faster boats.
There is a case.
It's not the same as in what to say. It's not only when we're lowered there. Faster boats that has
Faster boat. Yeah, the faster boat has that clear. But if he reaches this position,
still a faster boat.
Still faster boat. But in this case, he will have the right to push this down. Why not?
Because he's coming from behind and he's faster.
It says, now rule number 5, when a faster moving yacht approaches another yacht on the same tack from the rear, the faster yacht must not sail so close that the slower yacht cannot keep clear.
Yeah, it's clear. But please read the interpretation number 5.
I don't have that written down.
It is saying that...
Oh, yeah. But that is about the sort of when we would leeward it's the overlap. Right?
Yeah, it is saying that in this moment the situation changed. It is not the situation of faster boat, but it is the situation of windward and
Yeah, there is a case in there about this. And this is considered when the speeds are more or less equal.
but it is not in the rules. Not in the rules. And the problem is that
I think the theoretical point is that the red boat, the one in front, must be able to see the overtaking boat.
yeah, but the rules is saying that in this moment the rule changes.
Yes.
Would be better if in this moment the rule change. Yes, because in this case he sees the other boat. In this case he don't see the other one. But according to the rule, he has the right to push down in. So it's a little bit not good, I think, this interpretation. What do you think about it? Maybe we have to change the interpretation.
I would argue that safe sailing is sort of a major factor here.
Yeah,
and common sense.
Yeah,
So
I
if
said
you
that.
are the green boat, the rules might say that you technically have the right there. But
Yes.
it's not common sense and it's not safe sailing to expect the red boat to be
To see
even
you.
aware of you.
Yeah.
That's my thinking.
There's just some questions earlier, basically.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
All right, I think it is enough for today. Thank you very much for this very vivid discussion.
Hey, quick question. Like yesterday, we had a dolly mark down. Here's a down mark, here is a dolly mark, but it was down. So, how about then, if you can't see the dolly mark, there is no dolly mark, it's down. How about if you are coming from there? What is the situation?
It's 45.
Yeah, but do you just have to know where it should be?
Yes.
Yes.
100 meters above the river.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much for this discussions and very good questions. But do not go away. No, I still have something to say.